The Longhorns dominating Kansas. Texas is now set up for a head-on collision in the Red River Rivalry against Oklahoma this weekend. I think it is one of the most important Red River shootouts in the history of the Big 12. I think it is one of the biggest games in the history of the Big 12. And you may think, oh, Monty's just bloviating again. Well, let's be frank about it. What's on the line for Texas this weekend? A bid for the national championship. That's what's on the line. Nothing short of that. If Texas wins this game, it's downhill to the Big 12 championship in Tarrant County.
Boy.
Straight downhill. It is straight downhill to the college football playoff. It is as simple as beat Oklahoma, and your chances to see Quinn Ewers in New York at the Heisman Trophy ceremony skyrocket. You beat the Oklahoma Sooners in the Red River Rivalry game. It's within sight. You can almost touch it and feel it. The Big 12 championship game, the college football playoff. That's all on the line for Texas this weekend. And you know how you know Texas is engaged? They just beat the hell out of Kansas.
Y'all feel me?
And as big as that score was, it wasn't big enough. They were that much better than Kansas. That game was never in doubt. They beat the hell out of Kansas this weekend. Jalen Daniels or not, they beat the hell out of Kansas this weekend. And now it's on. And you want to know what else is on the line? Brent Venables is on the line. Is this program legit? Has he truly rebuilt it? Is Oklahoma back? That's on the line this weekend. And frankly, I'm here for it. These are the games that we are college football fans for. When you get Texas and Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl, and you start to understand that the magnitude of this game is not conference championship, but national championship, I don't know what more you could ask for.
Yeah, and I think that, Texas is that brand that, everybody wants to be good. And if you don't want them to be good, you still are watching their game. And that's the genius of brands like Texas and SC and, all the top tier programs. And I think that, Texas, when they're good, it's good for college football. And yeah, I do think you're playing for a bid in the college football playoff against Oklahoma. I do think you're playing for a bid to prove a point on your way out of the Big 12. And I do think you're playing for a bid to prove a point headed into the ACC. Because again, dude, if Texas finds a way to, let's say, beat Georgia later this year in the college football playoff, if that happens, dude, headed into the SEC, you've beaten Alabama and you've beaten Georgia.
Ooh.
My God. I mean, that's everything you could ask for. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. We're way ahead of that. But that's the kind of path you're talking about. That's the type of potential that this program has if they handle their business. And yes, if you beat Oklahoma, it's downhill from here. Yes, you still have K-State and TCU and some other good programs, but you're better than them. You are better than everybody in the Big 12. But now you got to prove that. And that's what I think Sark's job is. That's what Sark hasn't been able to do yet. Okay, great. You're undefeated so far. We get it. Go out and handle your business. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. Continue to execute. And if they do that, they're going to be in a great position.
Yeah, I love Texas in this game, and we'll have a full preview for you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But how excited are you guys for this game? I mean, it's something that I think it's something that you wait all year for, these rivalry games, and we usually don't get them till November. Well, guess what? We're getting one in October.
Yeah.
Early October, and the whole damn thing's on the line. And I think this is a big one. This is a big one. A real big one. Jeremy Callahan, Texas still has to win in Ames on November 18th, something they rarely do. Well. See, what happened was Iowa State's very bad. I don't know how Oklahoma State lost to Iowa State. I have no idea. Texas is not losing to Iowa State. David Ute fan. Ooh. All of us have to be Frank, or can I still be David? Nah, you're going to have to be Fran. After that loss, you don't get the K at the end of Frank. You're Fran.
Yeah, dude, Utah fan, if you want to vent, you're more than welcome to, because I just have questions. I understand they can't talk about injuries. I get it. But I still am salty about the sales package before the season. Why was the expectation that, hey, these guys are going to be available relatively soon? Nobody was saying week 1, right?
No.
Everyone wanted Cam to be available week 1, but nobody was really saying week 1. But I don't think we thought, or the general consensus was, that Cam and Brant were going to be out, heading into the meat of Pac-12 play.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's frustrating for Utah fan is like, hey, man, okay, great. We're not going to talk about injuries. But how long are we going to be going on with these games with Nate Johnson? With all due respect, he's not ready. He's just simply not ready to live up to it.
But the bigger part of that conversation is how long is Utah going to be mediocre at the quarterback position?
Well,
and again, I go back to
conversation.
I go back to Travis Wilson. I go back to, who's the last truly elite quarterback? The Alex Smith, the Brian Johnsons.
I think it is those guys.
Because if you look down the line here, you have not had a truly dominant quarterback in a very long time at Utah. Far too long. And I love Cam Rising, but the injury now has become a problem. And I think he's that guy that's a giraffe who also runs really well and is physical, but you're never going to be as physical as a downhill running linebacker or a downhill running safety in the Pac-12. You're just not. And we're learning now the hard way that this is a really physical league. And you have to be deep. And I'll be honest and say that Bryson Barnes and Nate have been very disappointing. And it's no longer a question of, do you have receiver talent? They have receiver talent that's emerged. But you have an injury problem here because it wasn't even Cam being out. It was Jaquindon Jackson being out that was also part of the problem here.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not at full strength. But again, to answer the question directly, the quarterback problem remains a problem. The quarterback position remains a problem at Utah. And until that's addressed, we can have all these, visions of grandeur about Utah running through the Big 12 next year. It's not going to happen because you're not better at the quarterback spot than most teams in this league. Because I can tell you, the newbies coming in, Arizona put up a hell of a fight this weekend. Arizona State, I have to think they're going to be better year on, year on, and year on. Are they now? No, they're not. Kenny Dillingham doesn't have a fighter's chance.
Dilly.
Now, you want to talk about Colorado? Good luck. You want to talk about, look at BYU. BYU, I think Keaton Slovis is doing a fine job. I think Jaron Hall was a very good quarterback. I think Zach Milfson was a very good quarterback.
Yeah, see what he did there, Milfson. Okay.
Donovan Smith, anybody notice what Donovan Smith did this weekend in a loss? Looked really good, right? You're starting to understand the Big 12 is a quarterback league. It is a quarterback league, and Utah better find a quarterback because a year from now, it can't be, well, we thought Nate would develop, and that's not going to be good enough. You have to do better than that. And I think Kyle Whittingham will do better than that. I truly do.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to understand what is it going to take to win this Big 12 league a year from now. This league's going to be a behemoth.
Yeah.
There are no free passes.
No.
Do you think a year from now that Colorado's not going to be able to defend the middle of the field? Yeah, I would think that they're going to be able to defend because they're going to have defensive linemen and they're going to have linebackers. And my guess is they're the offensive line, they're going to have 4 more guards that can actually play in the Big 12 next year at Colorado.
Yeah.
So all of that to say, Utah better figure it out at the quarterback because the defense isn't the problem. Health and the quarterback is the problem on this team right now.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, again, I love Kyle Whittingham. I respect the man. He's done a hell of a job, and there's no way around that. But I'm getting tired and a little burned out on we've got a great defense and the offense can't keep up. I'm a little bit tired of that right now. I'm a little bit tired of, okay, initially, NIL, not sure. Portal, not sure. Not really sure if that's good. Not really sure that we're going to be doing a whole lot of that. It's Wild Wild West. It's pay for play. Oh, but then everybody and their mom got on that train, and now everybody and their mom's got all the talent. And clearly, on the offensive side, you're behind.
Yes.
And so, again, hear me clearly. I'm not saying Kyle Whittingham's a bad coach because he's not. He's a damn good football coach. And I think he will represent Utah well in the Big 12. But the excuse of, hey, we only have a freshman as depth in the quarterback room because Bryson Barnes isn't quality enough, so we had to go to Nate because he's more athletic, but he's inexperienced. That's not, in the Big 12, that's not going to be good enough. It is a deeper league next year. It is the best league you've played in. Next year's Big 12, in my opinion, is better than anything the Pac-12's offered.
You have a West Virginia team right now that's undefeated in the conference and isn't giving up points. Like, they're playing, and I don't know how many people want to talk about West Virginia. They're not giving up a whole hell of a lot of points. I think they're one of 4 teams in the league that hasn't given up 100 points. Like, I mean, this league is very difficult right now. And even if I go to the bottom half of the standings, Houston's going to be better. Defensively, Dana Holgerson's going to be better if he's still a motherfucking job. Scott Satterfield just doesn't have talent right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be better. UCF, I think they're going to be better. But again, I look at a team like Iowa State, they're going to score points next year. They're one of the worst offenses in this league.
Yeah.
They're going to figure out how to score points. And my question is, if you're Utah right now and you look at this defense, you say to yourself, God damn, that is a really good defense. And that is a really mediocre offense.
Yes.
Like, do you understand that the Utah defense has given up 59 points? They are 4-1, and they have given up 59 points. And you lost because you've scored 96 points.
Right.
Which is second to last, only behind Arizona State. That's how bad Utah's offense has been. Let that sink in. The only offense in the Pac-12 worse than Utah is Arizona State.
No.
And they're worse only by a touchdown. Bro, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yep.
So I would tell you, you're in real trouble there.
Well, this is about Cam and Brant's ability to stay healthy. The bigger picture conversation is not. It's about recruiting and being 4 deep at the positions that matter.
It's no different than Oklahoma State. Really solid defense. Really sus offense. Right? Like, really. Pokes can stop you.
Really sus offense. Best
Bro.
thing you've said today, dude.
Incredibly sus offense.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But
like, look at Nick Saban. Right? See, this is my point about Kyle Whittingham.
Yes, it is.
Nick Saban's going through quarterback issues, but what's Nick Saban done? Nick Saban has said, okay, so Jalen Milroe wasn't the guy, and then Tyler Buckner wasn't the guy. Okay, so let's bring Jalen back in because he played the best of the guys that got an opportunity, and we're gonna ride him, and we're gonna coach him up and make sure he understands. So my question is, in that area, does Utah just need to be better at bringing Nate along as fast as possible? Because he doesn't have a whole season to learn. You don't get those luxuries. There's expectations, back-to-back Rose Bowls, even though you lost.
The difference is Alabama's struggling on offense, and they've scored 161 points.
Mm-hmm.
You've scored 96.
Mm-hmm.
And they've played superior defensive talent. And their defense is better than your defense, statistically speaking. The difference is that you have far less room for error in the Pac-12. You lose one game, your season's probably over.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing for a December bowl bid. Nobody wants to play bowl games in December. Nobody. You want to play into, the first couple of weeks of January. And it's very difficult when you are Kyle Whittingham. You just lost at Oregon State. That's going to be really difficult for you to overcome. Number one, you don't get the respect you deserve already, and now you lost a game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to Ohio State. Do you know how big that Notre Dame win at Duke was for fucking Ohio State? Excuse my French.
Notre Dame, our mother.
Do you know how big that win for Ohio State was? The Notre Dame win at Duke was massive for Ohio State. Massive. If Notre Dame goes on to lose 3-4 games, that's a bad look for Ohio State because Ohio State doesn't have a bunch of dudes on their schedule.
It took Notre Dame having 10 guys on the field, and frankly,
twice.
Notre Dame having one guy down in the most important position on the field, given the situation, for you to win a ball game.
Real quick, I need a little time to melt down on Marcus Freeman. He's no Eberflus, but he'll do.
Okay.
Marcus Freeman, how is your defense out of position on the goal line again against Duke? Now you go on to win the game, but there's 3 plays in the red zone in the fourth quarter where dudes didn't know where to line up and where to be. 2 of them were linebackers. 1 of them was a safety. Marcus Freeman's embarrassing himself at Notre Dame. And you won the game, so you get a free pass on that. But at some point, somebody might want to tell Marcus Freeman, hey, we're not preparing well enough on defense.
I want more.
We're not practicing goal line and 2-minute defense.
You know.
Our offense is fine. We have a general at quarterback. Might want to stop some MFers at the goal line. Like, what are we doing? You can't have when your feet are in your own end zone, you can't have guys running around trying to figure out where they're supposed to line up. And you had 3 guys moving when Duke snapped the ball. Come on now. Be better than that. Be better than that. And I understand it's a difficult job coaching football, but maybe you just need to get a 6-pack of free buckshot from BuckedUp.com.
You know.
Maybe that's how we fix Marcus Freeman's problem.
Seriously.
So, okay. When I transition and stuff to free buckshot samples, you guys, I tell you every day on the show, BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty20 to get 20% off at checkout. Look what we got for you today. So many people are like, hey, samples. Okay. Pimp Mama Daddy, Duke, Guy, Monty, over here on the showroom. I came through. I got you guys the hookup. In the description below, there's a link where you can click to get 6 free buckshot samples sent right to your front door. Here's what I'm asking for. We need... And really what we need in the entire month is 100 people to go and get buckshot samples just for the entire month. There's 334 of you right now watching the show. In the description below, go click the link. Can we do 100 today? Let's go.
Free.
It's free. Go get 100 samples right now today. If 100 people...
Oh, you don't tip the show? Because you don't want to? Go get this. It's free.
Go get free samples. 6 free buckshot samples sent right to your front door. We would love to do 100 of these in the month of October. Let's hook it up because I just can't evangelize enough for the quality of the product that is Bucked Up and Buckshot. It is a game changer for me. I use it every single day. You guys see me take it on the show. And it's energy shots designed to help you have your best days, even when you are busy. When it's not your best day, you don't feel good. Buckshot changes that. And it's because you're using high quality ingredients that just make a great product. And what Buckshot does for you is you drink it, it's naturally derived caffeine. So you're not getting a bunch of crap that you're swallowing. You're not getting a ton of sugar that you're taking in, because I think we all know you're either putting good stuff in your mouth or you're putting bad stuff in your mouth. Do with that statement as you will. You're either putting good ingredients in your system or bad ingredients. When you trust Bucked Up, you know you're getting really, really good ingredients that make a really, really good product, and they want to give it to you for free.